Hi everyone, Hillbilly Handloader here. Today we're going to take a look at some recent load development I did with my 6.5 Creedmoor competition rifle. I managed to find a good deal on 140 grain Sierra Matchkings and Staball 6.5 powder, so I needed to cook up a load for this combination. The brass that I'll be using is Hornady, and the primers that I'll be using are CCI number 200 large rifle primers. Some folks would claim that Hornady brass is no good and that I should be using Lapua or Peterson. And while I do think that Lapua and Peterson make good brass, these Hornady cases were free from a local range bucket, so that instantly makes them good to me. The rifle that I'll be using is a custom PRS rig featuring a Zermatt Origin Action, 26-inch Excalibur 1 8 twist 6.5 Creedmoor barrel, American Precision Arms Fat Bastard Gen 3 muzzle brake, Aerosolus competition chassis, TriggerTech primary trigger, Harris SBRM 6 to 9 inch bipod with Tough Tactical Tools Arca bipod adapter, Vortex Diamondback Tactical first focal plane 6 to 24 by 50 MRAD, and Vortex high mount rings. The powder dispenser I'm using is a Lyman Gen 6. The dies I'm using are Hornady custom grade, also known as the cheapest set of full length dies available from Hornady. The press you see me using is an old Pacific Deluxe C-frame single stage, and yes, it's older than I am. As you'll see later in the video, it still cranks out good ammo. The range I'll be using is the National Forest Range in Blacksburg, Virginia. This range is publicly available and is 100 yards. All groups in this video are fired at 100 yards. For velocity data, I'll be using an Athlon Rangecraft Radar Chrono. The targets displayed will be measured using the Ballistic X app. For those interested, the weather on the day I was at the range was mild and overcast, about 70 degrees, with near zero wind. While Staball 6.5 is advertised as being insensitive to temperature, I haven't yet collected enough data in various weather conditions with this powder in order to verify that claim. The first group being fired is 43 grains of Staball 6.5. All of the ammo being fired today is seated at 2.8 inches overall length. These Sierra Matchkings are not known for being jump sensitive, and the other SMKs I've used in the past have not been jump sensitive. So this first group printed a nice jagged hole, which is what I expected from a cold barrel on this rifle. While group size is not hugely important to me for load development with 5-shot groups, it's always nice to see jagged holes on paper. The velocity readings were about what I expected given the predictions I got from Gordon's reloading tool for this combo. The second group being fired is 43.5 grains of Staball 6.5. All of the ammo fired on this range trip felt fine on recoil, and the cases all extracted without any heavy bolt lift, even the maximum charges. As you can see, this group was a little bigger than the last one, but still under 1 inch. Please keep in mind here that I'm not looking for a particular node or optimal charge weight. When you step up the round count to 20-shot groups or larger, these nodes tend to disappear, and all that matters is if your powder charge is consistent. The third group is 44 grains of Staball 6.5. The group got a little over 1 inch here. Do I think this load is any less precise overall compared to the others? Not really. I think this barrel is getting a little warm, and some groups are going to open up unless I sit and wait for the barrel to cool longer in between groups. But I just want to see velocity readings and get a look at the primers to make sure I'm not getting into dangerous territory. The fourth group is 44.5 grains of Staball 6.5. The velocities are now averaging over 2,800 feet per second comfortably. While this load is still safe in my rifle, it's getting a bit on the warm side. You may notice that the ES and SD of these groups are getting a little bigger as we go up in charge weight. As I'm still a bit new to this powder, I can't tell you if this is normal for higher charge weights with this powder and cartridge combo. I'm going to have to do some testing with larger sample sizes to dig more into that. The final group was 45 grains of Staball 6.5. The velocities are now approaching 2,900 feet per second. This is the maximum charge weight according to Gordon's reloading tool, and I will not be using this load for the long term. While I may push pressures a bit on 5.56, I see no need to do that with 6.5 Creedmoor, since it already has reduced barrel life compared to 308 and 5.56. Now we're taking a look at the primers from all this ammo. Starting at the top, we have 43 grains, then 43.5, then 44, then 44.5, and for the last one, 45 grains. As you can probably tell, all of these primers are flattened, despite not being over the maximum charges. I don't consider any of these charge weights to be unsafe in my rifle. A small disclaimer, do not start at maximum charge weights. Always start lower and work up. Now, if you like what you see, feel free to like, subscribe, and comment. Stay tuned for more match videos and more load development as I try to shoot long range on a budget.